right, so have you fully kind of made the transition to grinder now?
I guess, some people might say that. I think that's just kind of, one of the things that I, need to do and, kind of stand by going forward.
Tell me about the science of rebounding for you.
I think for me it might be a little different than other guys. Just being able to kind of use my athleticism, I think that helps me a lot, especially, when I'm matched up on a bigger guy. There's, a few advantages that I have in terms of my speed and quickness and, jumping ability. So, I think when I can use that and then obviously, trying to read the trajectory of the ball, I think that's kind of what mostly goes into it.
Attention to detail, all that defensive stuff. How much easier is it when you guys are bringing a little more energy, a little more joy onto the court?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier. I just think when we are communicating more, when we have more energy, everyone's more connected. I think everyone's always bought in at times, but I think it's, kind of easier to see and kind of feel, everyone being connected. And especially, being out there when everyone's having fun, doing what we need to do on the defensive end. It helps us get stops for sure.
Painter talked a lot last week how it's not you guys are bad guys. It's just a lot of there's politeness, quietness around.
Yeah.
How much of this year has been learning to be a little more uncomfortable with your personalities and kind of stretching?
Yeah, I think a lot of this year for a lot of different people has been a time when we've had to be a little bit uncomfortable. Because like you said, everyone's a good guy. Coach Painter's done a really good job recruiting good people. And, he'll continue to do that for however long he coaches, and Purdue will always do that. And then that's what I think. But they always say that our off the court personality can't be the same as our on court personality and our competitive personality. So I think it's been a little bit uncomfortable for a lot of people in terms of having to communicate. And I think it's a lot easier when we realize that it's only going to help us. We've seen in practices and in games, and we actually talk, we make a lot less mistakes. So that's something that we really try to emphasize.
Normally, the four-man against next to a really good post scorer has to do things to complement them. How do you feel like you complement Trey?
I just think it's kind of the ability to play on the perimeter. And also just kind of, I think when I'm in that dunker spot, it could be a lob threat too, just with kind of my quick ability to quickly get off the ground and to set, flare screens or pin-ins, kind of on that weak side guy, kind of being physical with a low man. There's a lot of different things that I can do when Trey has the ball. And I think, there's been quite a few games where I've just pinned in and, he's able to just kind of throw it over the top of me and the defender, and, we've been able to get wide open shots from it.
On defense, were you the low man more against UCLA? Was that a change, or was that just the way things worked out?
It's really just the way things worked out, honestly. We always talk about having a low man, and, that's kind of a main principle that we have defensively. So, it just kind of happens where our guy is on the court and, kind of where we need to be.
You really seem comfortable shooting that three as the indirect off that ball screen.
Yeah.
Are you more comfortable stepping into that shot laterally versus other types of shots?
Yeah, I would say so. That's kind of the action that I'm in the most. So, obviously I get the most reps at that, especially in practice when we go through our plays. And obviously when I'm working out, that's a shot that I practice a lot just because, it's a game rep and, that's something that I need to practice. So I would definitely say that's one of the most comfortable shots that I take throughout the game.
What kind of lessons have you taken about basketball in general, your college career, in terms of how much you can impact the game without, scoring or without, dominating people with athleticism and things like that?
Yeah, I would really just say the main thing is just kind of staying focused. I'd say that's one of the biggest lessons is, not being too high or too low. No matter what happens, you're going to win a bunch of games, and, unfortunately, we lost a few games in a row, and, that's just going to happen. That's part of life. That's part of basketball. So if you can really just, figure out a way to get through it, especially, obviously I was in a little bit of a shooting slump there. So, realizing that there's other ways that I can still be effective and still, kind of impact the game and, realize the God-given abilities and physical tools that I have in terms of my athleticism will definitely help that.
It's a long season. What's it like when you're down to there's only 2 regular season games left, tournaments coming up?
Yeah, I'd say the main thing is really just being mentally focused. Obviously I'm pretty sure everybody's body is tired throughout the whole country. So, you know, whether we're in practice, weights, you know, working out, it's really just, you know, being able to do your individual stuff and, you know, not wearing yourself out, but also, you know, you got to be mentally prepared every single day. Even on our off days too, you got to be thinking basketball because that's our life right now, and you know that's kind of the most important thing is the next game.
Is there a mental recharge now that games are about to come up where if you lose, you go home?
I don't know if it kind of say a mental recharge. You know, I think that we've, you know, like I've said, you know, we just got to take it one game at a time. So, you know, obviously our goal is to win, you know, Rutgers and then Illinois and then the Big Ten tournament. And, you know, if we lose the game, whenever it is, then, you know, we figure out what we need to do at practice and, you know, the next opponent and, you know, we'll get right back to work. So, you know, a little bit I would say yes, just because, you know, obviously sometimes there might be a longer break than, you know, we'd hope. But, you know, we're always looking forward to focusing up and winning the next game.